achieved in that field, you know. So like, man, I love the kids and I love to do this. So if I can, like, pretty dope that like that year, I think I stopped working, but I came back and did like a basketball clinic for that elementary school. You know?
Okay.
So it was like I'm back in a capacity that I want to be in.
On the level that
on the level that I want to be in and doing what I love, you know. And I tell kids all the time, man, like it ain't no substitute for that. Don't think about the money. Don't go chase the money. Don't go chase the girl. Do what you love. You know, and then everything else is, and do it well, and then everything else is going, you know, come to you the way it's supposed to, you know. So it wasn't like, oh, I got to get out of it. It was kind of like, let me be the best teacher, person I could be, and that's just the mindset that I take with everything, you know. So I try to be the best coach I could be. I try to be the best trainer I could be. I'm trying to be the best, you know, guest I could be, you know, like in every walks of life.
That's good, because like I said, these kids they see one side of it. You know what I mean? The dancing in the end zones and shit like that.
All of it, the glitz and glamour.
Yeah, they understand the work they got to put in to get to that.
The hills you run, you know, the weights you lift. You have to wake up 5 o'clock in the morning and have to run, you know, in snow, you know, and
especially in this atmosphere, in this here where we at in Jersey, because we got all 4 seasons, so you got to train all year round.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and you got. It's also a mental thing as well, man. You got to be mentally prepared for this game.
Exactly.
It is a full contact sport, but you got to know what you're doing out there. People get hurt, but you get hurt even worse if you don't know what you're doing out there.
Exactly, and then like it probably isn't the I want to say it isn't like the best going through it, like the hard work. It's tough. It's tedious. It's, you know, there's other things you will be wanting to do. You got to go to sleep early. If you got to wake up, you know, early, everything like that. All the hard work going through it, you know, the cramps, the little injuries that you get, muscle spasms that you got to go through and everything like that. But, like, you got to build your body up. So, like you said, it's a full contact sport, man. It's just you don't prepare to go through a car collision, you know, 10 to 15 times in that 3-hour span.
Exactly.
But, you know, you got to pound those weights to get ready. And that's what football, you know, that's what football is. Like, people like to say, oh, it's a contact sport. It's really a collision sport. Wrestling, contact. Basketball, you might get bumped. It's contact sport. They might call it foul. Football, you crashing into people. You got to be half crazy, you know, crashing into people full speed. And those are the crazies that I coach, you know, and that I train. So.
Yeah, I love the sport. I've always been a fan of football. I remember one of my favorite players, Ronnie Lott.
Yeah.
That's actually turned me into a 49ers fan.
Yeah.
I've seen him watch it again. I forgot what he was playing, though. He played for safety.
Yeah.
And the dude caught the ball across the middle, and Lott hit that boy so hard, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, who is that?
yeah.
Who is that?
Man, they killing. This is
exactly.
Football, man.
The game was different back then. It wasn't all. They didn't have as much information as far as the injuries, as far as concussions and things of that nature. Also, they didn't have the technology because a lot of players come back from injury a lot faster than they used to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You go, let's not lose, muscle or whatever, a ligament or whatever.
Yeah.
They back in 3 weeks instead of 6-7 weeks or out for the season. Yep. Back then it was a little bit different.
Yeah.
Now, how do you teach the kids about being safe out there as well? You know what I mean? Because like I explained to you, like my son, he can't play anymore because he had 5 concussions within the past 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what do you teach them about being safe and being careful out there on the field as well?
I mean, definitely teach them the skills as a trainer or as a coach, man. But like you actually have to, because it's such a violent sport, man. You got to teach like the fundamentals and good technique between that, you know. So it's not like, and a lot of people, not to knock anybody hustle, people that do it, you know, like you could give a million drills and it looks good and everybody goes, hey man, you know what you're doing or whatever like that, man. But like, to limit those injuries and have good technique and be technically sound is not just so you can make the plays and be successful in the field, but it's so you can be safe, you know. So when you go to tackle somebody, like I ain't gonna lie, I had good little league coaches. And I was the crazy little 11-year-old that wanted the crown of my head, duck and boom. You know,
like
neck,
a
shoulder. Yeah, no, good hit. And it was a big collision, and it was just like, oh, I got a stinger. You know, my neck hurts or my shoulder. Like, and it was like, that's not the proper way to do it. So, like, when you teach a technique and stuff, like, and I remember a coach, you know, that I had, Coach Jameson, and he was from Ohio, but he had a country accent, and I'll never forget. I hit with the crown, and I killed this dude, man. And I killed this kid, and everybody, yeah, dog. And I go to the sideline, and he's like, son, I'm like, drink steak through a straw for the rest of your life, and I'm like, man, what you know, like,
yeah, you break your neck.
Yeah, but in actuality, I'm thinking back now, like as an adult, and I'm like, man, you saving my life, man.
Yeah,
like he's not trying to wheel me around the well or have that on his hands. That the kid got seriously hurt, man. Doing
on
that.
his watch,
on his watch, and he's a little league coach, man. So I tell these kids, like, it's good, but get your head up out of the way. You know, whether it's a concussion, whether it's a stinger. I don't seen people get knocked out. I don't see it. I mean, right in front of my eyes, or like whether it's teammates or I'm coaching, or like I don't see somebody, you know, almost like break their neck, you know, or going into like a convulsion because he ducked his head, and I'm like, ooh, he's about to die right here on the field, right in front of me, man. And I was the next person in line, man. That ain't funny, but I got it. Yeah, but the thought about it is just like, I'm glad he's okay now. But in your mind, it's like, be safe, get your head out of the way. So when you teaching these kids, it's just like, it's from that experience and that testimony, like, man, get your head out of the way, be safe, like, live to, you know, like,
play another game.
Yeah, play another game, to walk up out of here, get up and down the steps, you know.
Mm-hmm. So tell me about the logo you got on your chest, man. Is that this for the whole company, or this for the
No, this for the whole company. So I actually also do like basketball and strength conditioning and speed, agility, explosiveness, and all that. But like, I honestly, when I first, you know, wanted to make this logo, man, it wasn't like I can't give you like a sentimental story behind it, because I was just going through like, and I'm like, okay, somebody running's too generic. Okay, somebody with football, I don't want to just tab that. Somebody with a basketball, just tab that. Somebody lifting a weight, like I felt as though like that would box, you know, my brand in, you know, my business in, and then people would look at it and be like, oh, well, my daughter does soccer, and you know, it looks like this company, so I wanted something like, you know, kind of universal. So I actually put this in what was it? What search engine was it? Oh man, I ain't gonna spend a lot of time on it. I can't think of it right now, but basically, like, you put it in the search engine. So I put the name. You know, I always knew I wanted to go with Playmaker Athletics, because that was kind of a nickname. Well, not kind of. That was a nickname that I had in college. You know, and then when I got to the professional realm, it was something that, like, a moniker that I took on. So I wanted something that like kind of had my imprint of it, and I didn't want it to be called Darvin Athletics or Henderson Athletics. You know, no offense to anybody who does those type of things, but I want it to be like, if anybody has this on their chest or representing it, you know, it ain't me, it's us.
Exactly.
You know, so when I put Playmaker Athletics, you know, I seen this, then, you know, I see the P in there, I'm like, yo, that's dope, you know, with the wings and stuff, and it was kind of like, you know, it was generalized, so like it could be for anything, but it represents a certain, you know, like a brand, whatever like that. So when people see it, it's not like, oh, that's Bentley or that's whatever. You know, when you see it, you see the P, it's just Playmaker Athletics. Oh, okay. You know?
Right. So how long you been let's teach you, how long you been in business for yourself? How long you been an entrepreneur?
Say like 3.5, 4 years. 3.5, 4 years.
Now that's another struggle that you're going through, being an entrepreneur. Now you're building your business, your brand. You know what I mean? So So you used to basically taking on challenges. That's something that you like to do then, huh?
Yeah, man. Like, it's not for everybody, you know, and it's admirable. It's admirable that people would look and say like, oh, well, this is great. I want to be an entrepreneur, man. I want to, you know, like, you don't do these things because of the outside world or how people may perceive you, and like, oh, I got my own business. Like, there's a lot of, some days is you know, early mornings and late nights. You know, and then like my mom
never. You were 24/7 as an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? You know, punching the clock 9 to 5 type thing. You know what I mean?
Nah, you go home and it's on your mind. You leave is on your mind. You're running errands. What I got to do, I got to check off the list. There's always like something to do. Like for instance, like this week it was like, I'm doing something for the 7-on-7 team. I had to order everybody's jerseys. I had to get everybody's sizes. I had to get everybody numbers. Then I had to, take in certain things. Then I had to go look for field rental, So then I had to negotiate prices with that, And then I had to move stuff around, And then like today I had clients before this, And then I had to come do the podcast. And then after this, like I'm shooting out to the game and go check out some of my clients in basketball, So like it's not for everybody. Some people will like that luxury of punching the clock 9 to 5, boom, I'm out, I'm here, my paycheck's there every 2 weeks. It's no problem. I don't got to worry about when my next income coming in. But a person like me, like I need to hold myself accountable. So if I'm not working or I'm not doing a certain thing, I want to be, I'm gonna get out of it as much as I put into it. So if you put a lot into it, it's going to be a direct reflection of how your brand is, how your business is, and how things are going. So if you're sitting on your butt, that's what your brand is going to be, on your butt.
Exactly. I know, bro. I definitely know. I mean, as we were talking earlier, I spent too late. I've been doing this thing for a minute. You know what I mean? And I constantly put the work in, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, some of the things I have done has been very, very successful. You know what I mean? Some shit definitely flop, but, it's all part of the process.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's easy to find a job. I don't say easy to find a job. It's easy to go to work every day and just get a paycheck and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, do what you gotta do.
Yeah, it's easy to do that, man. Like, but people like us, you know what I'm saying? We thrive on finding 4 or 5 different streams of income. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That we can actually control. You know what I mean? It's the difference when you go to the job. You don't control nothing.
Yeah.
Besides, you waking up and going there, getting on time. That's it.
Yeah. And then once you get through that door, mm-hmm. your butt belongs to the boss.
Yeah, that's it.
And the boss tells you what to do. He has all the control. And then when you leave out there, you may get a little bit of control back in your life.
Now, part of your program, did you teach kids anything about being an entrepreneur, or you speak to them about it, or you just mainly just deal with the athletics and the training?
I deal with the athlete. Like some kids, like the older kids, like how did you? Like I had one of. Like when I was, training and still after, he was like a younger guy, but definitely hard work and everything. And he asked me a question like, how many jobs, like until you figure out what you want to do, man? I'm like, I had every blue collar job you could think. I unload trucks at UPS. I deliver pizzas at Domino's. I worked at, ShopRite. I bagged groceries. I was a cashier. I stocked shelves. I was a busboy, I cleaned tables, I brought water, I did everything, under the sun until, like, I painted, I moved furniture until I got to a point where just like I had to build, not just on my brand, but I had to build that resume up to a certain point where like I could kind of do my own thing, or I was shaped or like, kind of stirred to do this, like, and this, and I'm like, yo, this is it. I don't mind working hard at this. And that's the thing, like, some people can wake up and go to that 9 to 5 and be super motivated. Hey, man, let's get to the bag. Let's get to the money. Yeah. That's not something that arouses me going to this and like having to say, like, hey, man, let's do it, man. Like, I want to work hard at, doing what I want to do in the capacity that I want to do it. And I would early morning, late night that, for the rest of my life if I could, doing that because that's something that I'm passionate about, so it's, it's hard and I have to go through that. So I'm not saying, anybody could be an entrepreneur at any time, but I suggest like find something you're good at, a service that people would need and that's always going to need, that's not going to change with the economy, and work on the service. Be the best that you could be at that. So if it's doing hair, you better be the best hairdresser since whatever, so people will go and say, hey, man, I like that hair. Who does that? This person does. Oh, I'm going to go, so, and then that way you always got consistent clients and they coming back because, you're working on your brand and what you need to do.
Now, you got a college degree, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now, did you have to get a college degree in order to get into this field? So what's your degree in?
My degree was in communications.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm saying is you got to get to concept of communication.
Yeah.
But you're an athletic trainer.
Yeah. So technically, I ain't need to get a communications degree to be a personal trainer. But to get certified as a personal trainer, I did make sure that I took classes. We had to take exams.
Certification.
Certain muscles, bones. They give you certain scenarios on there, like, hey, if Amy is predisposed to type 2 diabetes and her mother died at such and such age, and she wants to lose weight, but she has this condition, what type of, so exactly. So they just, hey, man, he athletic. And I wanted to play guy like, nah, man, they make sure, that they make sure that you really know what you're doing, so when you go out there.
The preparation and the studying and getting ready to get into the field that you want to get into.
It
wasn't just I'm gonna be athletic trainer like you said.
And let's just do it. So
you certified with the state, right?
It's the abbreviation is AAISMA. Hopefully I don't butcher this. Is the American Aerobic Association and International Sports Medicine Association.
Oh, okay.
So that's what. But also, as a coach, they make sure you're CPR, AD certified, concussion sports, heat illness. So I got a whole bunch of other certifications. Certification in nutrition. So I do meal plans also. For my weight loss clients, or is even like athletes that's like, hey, I'm trying to lose a little, I'm trying to tone a little. So calorie intake, protein intake. How can I change this around? Is it any things you recommend that I need to take? So it's kind of like I like to be a one-stop shop. Like you don't have to go here, you don't have to go here. Certain things that I don't know, and it's good that I know people. And it's like the trade and barter system. Like, hey, you're my friend. If you do this, you do yoga. I know somebody that has a studio that needs to do this. So even if I can't, do it, I would point you to somebody that that knows how to do it. So you're getting the work in regardless. You're getting what you need regardless.
So how old are you, bro?
28.
28. Yeah. Back in single training, single?
Yeah.
Okay, so all the single ladies out there, guys available.
Don't get me in trouble.
Listen, they probably asking. Hold on, we check. Successful young black man, you know what I'm saying, in his city doing the things that he not only dream but want to do with his life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because fitness and training is more than just giving back. Because you're teaching people how to be healthy and live a better life.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? The kids decide they play these sports, but when we go to the other side of it, like the fitness and training and the nutrition and all that, that's something different, especially as we get older.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't eat the same thing.
And that's the thing, And I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I'm not always as diligent, as I would like to be, but being a personal trainer, I make sure that, I gotta practice what I preach.
Exactly.
Because you can't catch Coach Darvin at McDonald's getting Big Macs. If you sit there, you just wrote me a whole nutrition plan and you telling me to stay away from this and that, and I got fries in my mouth or something, So then it's just like, do I really listen to this dude, if he's gonna be doing that, like, how am I gonna listen to him? He don't listen to his own advice. So I try to practice what I preach, and I try my best to. So as you get older, of course, you gotta watch what you're eating, what your intake is. You can't go crazy because it starts to take a toll on your body. Like when I was younger, I could stay up all night.
Oh yeah,
not go to sleep.
The poor all-nighters, under the sun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, burn that shit up the next day. I ain't start gaining weight until I started to my 30s.
Exactly. Then it's like, I got to work out. Or I got to work on this. Or I got to, work on this. So
how's your workout regimen? You got a solid regimen? Like you go to the gym 3-4 times a week, 5 times a week?
Yeah, a few times a week. I try not to overdo it. I tell the people now, man, it's all maintenance. I got to look the part. So it's just like, no offense. Like, you ain't going to go to a fat guy to go get speed training. It's just like, I could beat you in a race right now. Why would I listen to what you got to say?
Exactly.
Why would I listen to you? Like, why would you listen to somebody that doesn't, like, look the part? So I still make sure. And then I demonstrate the drills, and they like, oh, Coach Darvin still got the footwork, man. I'm like, hey, listen, I decided to retire. I decided to do this thing. Like, or so sometimes I mix it up with the kids, man, and they be like, oh man, and sometimes I still get like, yo, why don't you play him? Wait, man, God wanted me to do that, short and sweet. God wanted me to do this. He picked this path for me, and I'm giving back to you. You do it for me. You do it for me with your young legs, and your, no surgeries on you and everything like that, man. Go do it for me. I'll give you all the information you need. I'll give you all the knowledge. You go do it for me, man. We can make it together. But I ain't beating my body up no more to do it.
Those things over with.
I got to, like, even jumping in, and it's just like, I got to be careful about what I do. I can't go pull my hamstring and I'm trying to run my business limping around and I'm trying to jump in. Like, look at this dude. Or on crutches or something, I'm trying to give direct coach on the sideline in a wheelchair. Like, I can't do stuff like that. So it's only I look the part, I can't be tearing no labrum and trying to, I can't be doing all that type of stuff. So
the arms too.
Arm extension. And mixing it up with the kids because I want to relive the glory days. I done played a lot of sports and I done made a lot of plays and I done scored a lot of touchdowns, caught interceptions. I done hit a lot of 3-pointers. I done jumped a lot in the sand. I done won championships. So it's just like, I get reminded of it every time I go into my house and I see it and I'm like, not what I used to be. I don't want to feel like that guy. It's just like I did it.
Yeah.
I did it. I know I can still, in a certain capacity, do it, but it's all about paying it forward, man, and pushing it forward now. And I try to tell these kids, and they be, and this is the beautiful thing about it is they're open-eyed, like they're wide-eyed and open-eared, and it's like, what's up? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, hey, do this. This is what I've done, but I can't play no more. I can't make the plays for you. I can try to put you in position and give you the best knowledge so you can be successful, but I can't do it for you.
Right.
So you do it, nor do I care about doing it for myself anymore because I've done it. And it's like, hey, do it. So I have a kid now. He's on a recruiting visit. Football guy. He's on a recruiting visit right now. He's being highly recruited, and it's just like, hey, try to give you as much experience, even with the college, that's something in itself is like college recruitment. Because some college coaches, man, they be the biggest sharks out there, man. Yeah, we'll do this. We'll put you up in this and that, and we'll get you in. But when you get there, it's like, your butt's mine. And whatever I tell you to do, that's what you're going to do. You don't like it? Go home. And then it's like, man, this wasn't the dude recruiting me. So it's even just giving that information out. So they're aware of what's going on.
Yeah, I'll be aware of that, man. They had a movie about that, Blue Chips, back in the day, college recruiting and stuff.
Yep. Penny and Shaq and
it was crazy. But I know the NCAA to be real strict about that stuff. You know what I mean? How to recruit and all that. Now, what do you think about college players getting paid now? Like that's a big topic for a while.
Man, if they are getting paid, I'm jealous. I'm jealous, man, because I got injuries. I'm all banged up and I ain't get $1 for it. Refund check here and there, but in terms of getting paid, I think that I'm not talking about giving them a salary, but you got to think all the time, especially in college, that you got to spend on doing that sport and everything like that. Like, you don't have time to go have a job.
Exactly, because you full-time training.
You're full-time training in the off season. And then, like, for these sports, you're traveling state to state, like, then you're a full-time student. You're a student athlete. So it ain't like, oh, I do this when I do this. I do this. They don't care that you had a game and that you had X amount of touchdowns. They want that paper to be due when it's due.
Exactly.
So you got to balance both of them. And then, like, I was a kid in college that, I come from poverty. So I had little miscellaneous jobs across campus, that I didn't really do much. But I had jobs, like sometimes I would leave the football games and, hey, everybody, parlay. And then go back to the same locker room that I left, and I'm hanging up towels and I'm watching good just to get my little work study money so I can pay my phone bill. Find me something to eat because the dining hall closes at 8. And you gotta eat
at 10 o'clock.
There, and it's 10 o'clock and you hungry and you gotta find a way. So I think maybe not having a salary, but giving them a little. Hey, here's for food. Make sure that you spend this wisely. Here's for clothes. Make sure you spend this wisely. If you just want miscellaneous money for college kids, do other stuff with the money.
Yeah.
But at least they get reciprocated for what they doing. I ain't saying give them $50,000 a year because they playing college sports. Nah.
But the college game raises millions and millions of dollars every year.
Yeah.
Like the commercial endorsements and the products and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like these coaches, some coaches get paid millions of dollars to coach to some of these big schools.
For these kids not to get no money.
Yeah.
Like you're at Alabama or somewhere and Nick Saban's getting $7 million a year.
Yeah.
And they're buying these kids jerseys, or they're tuning in, or like even video games, you know what I mean? Like that was the coolest thing. When I was in college, on the NCAA video game and stuff like that. And it never dawned on me, like I should be getting paid to play myself in this video game, man. But it's like everybody else do. In the NFL, you go get a check from EA Sports to play in this game, to play as your character. Even college, like I think certain people got cut certain checks, like no matter how much it might have been for likeliness of, because of course they don't got that name in the back of the jersey, but if it's number 86 and he's 6'2" and he looked like that's Darvin Henderson, or if if it's a quarterback in college, like they're very relatable, or noticeable. So you see a guy that's 6'6" and plays for Auburn and he has a speed of 95, and that was Cam Newton. He's number 2, that was Cam Newton. You go to Auburn game, you buy them jerseys, It ain't just to enjoy the game. You watch it because to see what he's doing. And if he's not getting paid off the merchandising and commercials, the likeliness of video games, or
sponsors, all types of stuff.
Sponsors that come,
alumni, and they donate to the,
Yeah, they come back and donate, and they do their thing. It's tough. So I think they should be getting some type of. It's hard to say how they would do it though, because it's like I feel as though they either going to overpay or somebody's always going to
underpaid. Yeah, gonna be some situation like that.
Like, oh well, how did he? I done sold more jerseys. I should get, because that's going to come like with that is going to come like that entitlement. So then everybody's going to feel as though they're entitled to a certain money. I know if I was still playing or they had that around when I did, and I'm signing autographs or I see people with my jerseys on, I'm like. And I was naive. I just love the game. I wanted to play. So I wasn't thinking about.
That's what it is. A lot of they take that. They take that look at like these kids. They love the game. They want to play the game on a higher level. You know what I'm saying? I think they take advantage of that situation. You know what I mean? Now, far as like I always talk to kids about like the difficult level of getting to the league because you got a million kids out there want to get to the league.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You got what? 100,000, hundreds of colleges, you know what I'm saying, top, different levels, Division 1, 2, and 3, you know what I'm saying? So you got millions of kids out there trying to get into the league. What, as a trainer, what would you tell some of your kids they have to do to stand out in order to get to that next level?
Work hard. And that sounds cliche, but you always got to work hard because, you got to automatically think, and I think we've talked about it a little bit off air. What we probably talk about? It's always somebody working. You gotta think.
Exactly.
The time you sit on the couch and playing video games, somebody in California, or South Carolina, or Florida, that's pushing it to the limit because that's all they got, and that's the only hope they got. Mm-hmm. So if you want to get to that level, not only is it somebody else working, but you need to improve in every facet of the game or what you need to do. And the proof is in the guys that are doing better, in the NFL. Like, for you to have an 8 to 10 year span, man, or even a 5 to 6 year where you're consistent or when you're good or when you're doing certain things, man, like, that's an attribute to your work ethic, not just how talented you are. Because after a while, everybody's talented at that next level. Yeah. So when you get to high school, it's like, all right, cool. When you play varsity, it's just like, oh, it's more good people. But then you stand out. Then you go to college, it's just like, oh, it's good people. But then when you play in college, it's like, oh, okay. Then when you go to professional, it's just like, okay, well, these people input.
Over there.
Over there. But,
workman's comp.
Yeah, we just witnessed a slip and fall. Yeah. I ain't hear nothing. I don't know nothing. Somebody's back there like, oh.
As y'all know, we are in Starbucks downtown Trenton. I mean, So the employees are here doing their job. They back there, I don't know, doing something. I don't know. You see people screaming and falling, things falling on people. So I don't know.
Oh man, that's good. yeah. Oh man, ran past.
Yeah. That's another reason I like doing it down here because the live, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's authentic, man.
Yeah, it's definitely authentic.
Oh,
like since I've been doing interviews, people just be staring at us like,
yeah, like, hey, what's up, man?
Yeah. Come in and sit in the interview.
Hey, what's going on? Tune in.
So you got your physical trainer, all around sports trainer. I mean, from soccer, basketball, football, baseball too, or you can do conditioning.
Any
sport that
I mean, I'm an athlete, so I know how to swing a baseball bat. I know what you need to do, certain things, but I per se haven't played it at a high school level or college level. But you got trainers that never even did that, and I feel that can teach you. So if I got a baseball kid and they want me to, we need to work on this technique wise, I'll be able to learn a technique, as a student, as providing that service. And get it done, work hard at, and making sure they get the tutelage or the information they need to be successful. No
doubt. So my last question. Usually don't have it. I have them lined up because I go off the top of the head, so I usually have them lined up and everything. Oh, that's weird. I fucking lost my train of thought. Yo, that's crazy.
It's all good.
This never happened before, man.
Well, matter of fact, while you thinking of that question, man, I'll throw some plugs in there.
Oh, yeah, do that. I'll get my fucking thoughts together, y'all.
It's all good, baby. Football clinics every Sunday. We already had one. The next one is tomorrow morning at 9:00. That's open to all ages. It's at Peak in Ewing, New Jersey. The address is 1440 Lower Ferry Road. So if you know anybody that plays football,
ETS.
Across
right across you know where ETS is on Lower Ferry Road. Is across from there on the next parking lot. Mm-hmm. So you got to drive around the back. Yep.
So right there, I have a 7-on-7 AAU team that's 14 to 18 years old, high school students, student athletes. So we haven't officially started the season yet. We have a scrimmage on March 9th. So if you do know anybody that is interested and that could benefit from it, it's going to help you out coming into the season. You'll be well prepared. Get in contact with me. My Facebook. You can message me there. Or comment or get in touch with my man here. I train and I coach his son. In it. So, what else? Football showcase coming up.
So where's the scrimmage going to be at?
The scrimmage is going to be at Euro Sports Complex in Egg Harbor, New Jersey. So that's So it's an hour away. Combined with my guy.
What's your mama?
It's going to be
Atlanta County.
Atlanta County. Yep, that's Atlanta County down there. So I'm combining with my guy running a showcase down there. I don't have that address for you, but if you inquire, I'll be able to get it out to you. One-on-one training, is always available. And,
you have a website or anything like that?
Yep. You could follow my business page on Facebook. It's Playmaker Athletics, PLAMAKER Athletics. So I post on there. So everything that I'm talking about, that'll be on there. And my Instagram, Playmaker_athletics. So it's not Playmaker, it says Playmaker Athletics with an S at the end. And you'll be able to keep up on everything. I'll be posting about this interview on those pages.
Even the little brain fart I have will be on there as well.
So that'll be up on there. I'll probably share this with my Facebook, so if people want to come back and see the interview and, or just about certain type of information. I also do weight loss, shaping and toning also. So for those of you who I need a personal trainer, don't look here and say, oh, well, it's just an athlete. If I can't do high knees and I can't do burpees,
I seen the video you was training some people at a group.
Yeah. I did. That was at I forgot what church it was, but it was in Trenton. And the ladies that I do like fundraisers with, they said that they needed like a speaker or somebody like to work out, to motivate it, a crowd. So talk a little bit about fitness and about health and how working out like helps somebody and everything like that. So I spoke there, and then like did a little warm up with them, got their blood rate. But it was basically like I think it was called like healthy heart, event. So they had like healthy foods there to test them. It was good,
You do a lot of those, or that's the first time?
That was the first time I did it in that capacity. But I also do speak, so I do public speaking engagements. I'm looking to get more into those.
Another check, y'all. Public speaking engagements. Another check.
Hey, man.
Now, that's how you do it, though, man.
Yeah.
You take their knowledge, what you know what I'm saying, and you offer a service to the people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you make it available to them.
You know and like just, not limiting yourself.
Right.
You don't want to be in a box. You don't want nobody to put you in a box. You don't want to put your own self in a box. If you have a wide range of things that you could do, you want to do as much as possible, man. Like that God gave you, you want to share with the world, man. Exactly. So if it's fitness, if it's doing hair, if you're good at car detailing, whatever it is, man, like if you feel as though you could be doing or should be doing more than you're doing, like, reach out, man. Like the sky's the limit. I don't want to, sound like the cliche. Go for it. The world is yours. The world is yours. But it really is, man.
It is.
As much as you can.
You got to put your work into it. You know what I mean, and really do your best to take it to the next level. You know what I mean? All things that you do. I tell my sons that all the time. Like, you can do anything you want to do. You know what I mean? You got to put your heart into it and make it happen. You know what you got to believe it. People say they talk about it all the time. I don't do that. It shit gonna happen unless you get off your ass and do it. Like you said, like you know what I mean. You're trying to start a business and you sit on your ass, the business is gonna be on his ass too. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that goes for any aspect, you know what I'm saying? As an athlete or as an entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying? As an athlete, you gotta work twice as hard as the next person.
Yep.
That's when you want to get to the next level. This is my question, Kay. I don't remember now.
Say good.
Now, like statistically speaking, like is it harder to get into the NFL or like into the NBA? The NBA only got like 13, 15 people on the team. In the NFL, you have like 40, 50 people on the team. Yeah. So, statistically speaking, would it be actually harder, you know what I'm saying, to break that mold or get to that next level?
I would say, and for that specific point that you made, I'll say NBA because it's only, I think 12 on the roster. And then even when you see that, like, all 12 guys don't play. It's rare. I don't care how good you are. Like, it's hard as heck to play 6 to 7 people, let alone 12 people. So, they might never even take off their warm-ups. You get a pretty check to sit there.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they probably not complaining too much, man.
I think the league, the NFL heard that the bench warmers, they get like $500,000 a year, something like that.
Yeah. Or like practice squad, practice squad players. Like
I don't understand that part. The practice squad players, they just did to help practice with the rest of the team.
Yeah, so they not on the active roster of what it's called. Okay. So they not going to suit up for the games or nothing like that. But they like after training camp, they say, well, we don't want you on our. And you could be, you could be traded. The trick is, you could be traded from the practice squad to somebody else's team, but you can't go practice squad to practice squad. So if somebody says, "Hey, I like you," you're not on their active roster, but we want you to come play wide receiver, like stuff like that happens every day. Right. And like I said before, football is such a violent sport. Somebody will be hurt, and it's just like we will activate him to our active roster, and he will play this Sunday. It's just like, who's Joe Finkel? But he was on the practice squad. He's probably been in the league for 5 years. Maybe been on the active roster. Probably played special teams. A lot of people don't know of him. But that's not saying he doesn't have the skills and talent to do it because he's at that level. Right. Like Victor Cruz, man, he came on. He got cut from the Giants, then went back to the Giants, then had a crazy preseason, then got cut again, and then finally got his chance, man.
And then plays.
And then made plays, and then like he was a staple in there. But like I know a lot of guys. I know guys that I played with that were undrafted free agents that end up starting for teams, and doing very well. One of the guys just won a second Super Bowl ring. It was a teammate of mine, Chris Hogan, for New England Patriots. So even looking back at it, man, like I done shared the locker room with some cool people, man, like guys that's making millions of dollars, man. And I'm sitting here doing God's work, and giving my testimony back. But like even that, like it's you see how tall that ladder is to climb, man. It's not impossible, but it's Tyler and even him, like he's been on 3 different teams before and doing well before he actually got to a system where I guess that works for him. He's appreciated and he's doing well now.
No, I like that what you said as far as like, you the school, a lot of people listening to that for that right now. Have you ever used that little club where like, I got a 7-on-7 team, I come talk to them? Or...
Yeah. I actually I think my second year doing the football clinics, my guy Jose Gumps, he's one of my best friends when we was in school. So we still talk to this day. It was I think at the time he wasn't in the NFL. He was like fresh out, and he was living in South Jersey. And I'm like, yo, I know it's a little trip for you, whatever like that, But I'm like, if you could come talk to it, like, so the kids loved it, man. Not only just having an NFL, but like an NFL starter, like being there and giving to it. His first interception was off Matt Ryan. So it's just like I went to his house, he got the game ball there. So even sometimes it's just like, yo, this is my guy. But he played at that level. So like the kids and what he's teaching the kids, man, and how friendly he is, and how much knowledge he got. He taught me a heck of a lot, man. And even teaching the kids, is big. So I used it like, hey, can you come back and talk to my guys? Can you talk to my kids? And then the following year, we had a guy. I played against him in high school. He had played for Trenton, and he had he was on the New York Giants for a short stint. So like a couple weeks after he got signed, and this is a guy that throughout college and we worked out together, like that. And I'm like, hey, can you come back and talk to me? He's like, yeah, no doubt, man, I got you. He came in and kind of gave his testimony and talked about playing in the NFL and, all that type of stuff. So I love bringing that full circle because sometimes, man, even though, like, I have a big voice, man, and I have a great following, sometimes they want to hear it from somebody else. If you're hearing the same thing from somebody else, and, somebody that's at that level at the time, man, those kids, like I said, they always open-eyed and wide-eyed and open-eared, but with that, it's like, okay, well, I'm hearing it again from a different source that at a level where I want to be at right now. It's a great thing. So it's all about spreading that knowledge and making sure that they're getting it. Not only just they're saying it, but they get it, they can reciprocate it, and they can apply it to their everyday life for their skill.
So you got a choice at the time, like you said, your agent said something to you about, the draft in the NFL. You got a choice between like NBA and NFL. Which one would you chose?
NFL, just because I love football. Back in the day, I love basketball. And I still I train and I help out. So I like basketball too. But like I love football. It's that because growing up I was. I wouldn't say troublesome. I was an aggressive kid. I was like the youngest. I grew up with cousins that were like brothers. My older brother's 10 years older than me. So I took a lot of beatings. I took a lot of poundings. So when I got to a chance to give it back as somebody my age and my size, man, it was cool, kind of being congratulated for being aggressive or making a play or hitting somebody for and not getting in trouble for it, not getting suspended from school to do it. It's just like, oh, I took his soul, man, and good job. You like, man, this is kind of cool, man. Like this is great, man. So
the only thing, like, I love football. Football is a great sport. I watch it all the time. All my sons played in it. I'm saying, for the next level, once again, like most players, their money is not guaranteed. Baseball, basketball, you get hurt or something like that, you still get your check. Yeah. But in the NFL, if you don't play, you don't get paid.
Yeah. And that's why, like, when I was younger, and you see these best players in the league, they're holding out, they're asking for new contracts. I mean, I'm a Steelers fan, so a la Le'Veon Bell.
And
he's like, I want a new contract. He's like,
yo, Brown, both of them.
You already making $18 million. Like, why are you? It's like, because if I get hurt today and tomorrow, I ain't getting that $18 million. Exactly. So I want X amount guaranteed. I want this $40 million guaranteed up front, and I want to at least be locked into a 6 to 7 year contract. So if something happens, I'm good. My family's good. You know, then everybody, like the people from the outside looking in, go, man, that's rich people problems. Like millions of dollars. You talk about millions of dollars, but when you think about it, like they live a certain lifestyle, you know, and they might have kids and they may have families depending on them.
Exactly.
You know? So
exactly. Hopefully, like I said, a lot
you got $1 billion
come up from poverty. You know what I mean? They take care of their whole family.
Yeah, they take care of their whole family. Nobody else got jobs, you know. Yeah. And then when you get that certain type of money, you don't want your mom still going there. Nor do probably your close family. Like if you're a very noticeable person, you know, like you probably can't go. You know, your mom can't work at Starbucks. You can't do regular stuff regular. You can't work at the grocery store, man. Like you'll be crucified. And people will come in and, hey, aren't you such and such mom? Aren't you such like you're not going to be able to work?
Kidnapped and they get arrested and all types of shit.
Exactly, man.
This shit does happen, bro.
Or somebody will test you, man. Hey, ain't you, you know, such and such? You cost me money.
Mike Tyson used to go through that a lot.
Yeah.
Niggas, you hear the stories about how niggas used to test him all the time.
Yeah.
Like the youngest heavyweight champion in the world ever. You know what I mean? And people's like, you ain't that tough. You just, you know, hey man, like, come on, man. So they gonna test you. You get to that level. What I'm saying, you will be tested. And also, man, this is a thing I gotta really want to talk to you about. Coming into, especially as a young athlete, high school, college. No disrespect to the females, but being I'm saying pursued or chased by because you're an athlete. Like, I'm saying, what would you say to your young athletes about that situation, man?
Be smart, be safe, and most importantly, like focus on what you need to focus on. Everything else is going to come. The money's going to come. The women's going to come. Ladies are going to come if you're doing the right things. So if you're making plays on that basketball court, you doing what you need to do. You waking up early, you lift the weights, you doing everything that you need to do. You getting good grades, you know. Women are going to gravitate towards that when you're doing the right thing. You know, if you're making money because you're passionate about something, they're going to gravitate towards a certain person. You know, it's like energy. They're going to gravitate to people that are doing well, you know. And if you're sitting there focusing on, hey, I got to find my next lady, or she, you know, but you're not focusing on the task at hand. You know, Don't nobody want to be with a bench woman. Don't nobody want to be with, you know, somebody that's sitting the sideline. They want to be with a ball player. They want to be with somebody that's making those plays, that's on the court. You know, like short little story. You know, I'm 18 years old. I'm in college, and you know, you get your name called on the loudspeaker, and then it's different. High school, you pretty much know everybody. You know, or they know of you, and but yeah, in college, like I remember, I probably like made a catch or something in a game, and you're not really thinking of everything when you're just doing your job. So you're just focusing on what you need to do. So it was like my name was said, and later on that night, you know, like I seen, you know, somebody like, oh, I know you. I heard your name on, you know, on the intercom, and I'm like, nah, I ain't been. They're like, I know who you are. I know, and you got a helmet on, so you don't really know that they can't see your face, but they know you of that, you know. Right. So they pursue you because of, you know, the things that you're doing. So that's instance where I wasn't like, I need to make this because them girls understand and they need to know who I am. You know, I was just doing my job, man, but it's just like they gravitate towards, you know, and that's, you know, that's what
a lot of players get in trouble like that, you know what I'm saying, behind that, you know.
Exactly, because, you know, like the bait is in front of your face, man, and that bait's tangled, and then like you just, you know, I need to go. You know, I need to go. I need to go. Yeah. You know, this is, you know, I need this now instead of like, hey, man, like it's going on.
Not only when, you know, some females lie, but also, because it should happen like that. When female lie on somebody else, they did that.
Yeah, like I done heard stories, you know, or like know people personally, man, that happened, you know.
And, I mean, not only that, but
lie
on flip coin, some dudes don't know when to stop.
Yeah,
and that's another issue as well.
Yeah,
that's
unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because
on both sides.
Both sides, yeah.
Sides.
So, like I said, as an athlete, you can focus on what you're doing. I mean, the other stuff will come eventually. You know what I'm saying? Just focus on what you're doing. We try to get to.
Yeah,
that's what we trying to be at in life. You know what I mean? But bro, it's been a great, fabulous. Besides the brain fart and the little technical issues we had. It's Saturday, man. It's Saturdays. Once again, let people know where they can find you at. You know what I'm saying? What you got going on real quick. I mean, that way they can get in contact with you. Don't call me. I'm not training nobody. Listen, when you interview me, you call me. Train, you call that nigga right there.
Social media, Facebook is Playmaker Athletics, PLAYMAKER. My Instagram is Playmaker_athletics. Okay, spelled the same way. And I got football showcases coming up. Got football clinics that I run every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
I
forgot the camera.
It's far away. If you can see the person on that was me on my prom. Okay. So.
And he said this is a Peak Turf Field, 1440 Lower Field Road, New Jersey. This is across from anybody know where ETS is at, or you work at ETS? It's across from ETS and across from Lower Field Road. Just drive around the back of the parking lot, you'll find it. It's nice little signage that says Peak Turf Field. Yep. So the 707 starts up this season. Back with this season, 707. Yep. Any shout outs for get anybody, man? You know what I'm saying? Think your mom or somebody? Something, I don't know.
I don't got no, because I don't want to miss nobody, So
I think his brothers for beating him up. That's why he's such a good person.
Nah, word up, man. Like, thank my family for the youngest boy, and I'm getting beat up, and I'm getting all this type of stuff. So it made me tough. It made me want to compete. That was most of all. It made me like, you got to learn how to compete. You got to learn how to compete, man. So the first people I was competing in my house with my older cousins and, my older brother. So when I got to the field to play or anything like that, like even to this day, I'm competing. I'm competing against all the other coaches and the trainers out there and the entrepreneurs out there, man. And I don't like to lose. So, I'm out here getting into it every day, man. So, I'll see you at the top.
Yo, it's your boy Justin. Shout out to my man, Blessed Child. You know what I'm saying? Stretched Out Clothing. You know what I'm saying? Sponsored the Blog Talk Radio. You know what I mean? Shout out to my guest, Mr. Coach Darvin Henderson. You know what I'm saying? It took me a while to get his name. That's why I said the whole name now. Fucked up the names. I know that. Shout out to everybody watching. Listen, next comedy show, we back March 16th. You know what I'm saying? We back at the Arts Pat Take My Funny Bone comedy show. What else got going on? Just be aware. Just be in tune with everything's going on in the town. The show probably moved from Thursdays to Tuesdays. We are aware of that. Our co-host got his off days switched, so we're gonna go with the flow with that. Like I said, anybody want to holler out, Mr. Coach Darvin? Make sure you hit the Facebook, the Instagrams. You know what I'm saying? It's not just for the kids; it's for the adults as well. You know what I'm saying? Fitness is for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Fitness is for everybody. It's another great show. Your boy Just Global Unlimited Podcast. Shout out to everybody. The Congress, my bad. I got to what she's going. Shout out to the congregation. We back to tomorrow with the congregation. Not Remington Toes Down, but my man Uncle Toot and Angry James. We back tomorrow on the congregation. And also shout out to the Honestly Nerd Podcast on Monday. You know what I mean? We got some special guests on that podcast on Monday. And just looking forward to some more stuff I got going on. I'm building. So just be on the lookout. It's your boy Just Global Unlimited Podcast. And we out.